You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple, from the pain.
I don't know if we're winning. Kim?
Sunrise, Parabellum.
We leveled up again. He's in the middle of a freshly clean room with the fan above his head like a halo, his face covered in bruises. It's piss jacket, Kim, you took it off. What did you say? Sunrise?
Sunrise, Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying.
My gun, it's engraved on it.
Cops like it.
Is it
The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt, I am relieved to say.
He looks out the window.
I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely.
Good.
Yes, we have also completely failed. But that's okay.
The route, what happened?
What happened? You shot the major, and successfully, a firefight ensued.
What happened then?
As retaliation, their rifleman tried shooting you. He missed, or you dodged.
I dodged.
Then I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. Glenn did not survive.
There's a pause.
This is not the first person to die in his place.
He goes on.
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo died before they made it to intensive care. Titus died in the hospital yesterday. Alain and the young musician, I forget his name, they are all that's left.
Titus is dead?
Yes. You were bleeding out. I think you said something about your wife, and you warned me. I was able to disarm the major before he got a jump on me.
Thank you. Although
I was not able to kill him, as I should have. Cronel took him. A stray bullet killed the Pole, though. And that's what happened.
The lieutenant takes a cigarette from his pocket and lights. A bit of smell fills the room. And the major?
He's in a private hospital across the river. Cronel claimed him from the local butcher shop where Titus died. Turns out he's insured. We won't get to him anymore. The good news is he's not coming here either. I did some damage.
Titus is dead?
Yes.
I thought you only smoked one a day.
This is the one.
How many casualties on the Union side?
4. Glenn, Theo, Angus. The fat one. He took a lot of bullets. And Titus.
And that's...
All.
It's a total crap show, Kim. An absolute disaster.
Yes, officer. 7 people are dead. It's not a success.
That's right. He said 7, but the word said 6.
But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The mercenary tribunal is neutralized. The worst scenario has not materialized. And we are still alive. Both of us.
he did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies. His smoking, his hunched back. You have it worse, but he took a real beating. That cigarette has medicinal purposes.
Ouch.
It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Dramamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it wears off.
Dramamine, then it's not that bad. Neither surgical nor organ damage bad, but still under the counter bad.
How bad am I hurt?
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. The outer side, thankfully, no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome.
Can I walk?
We will see.
Has anyone from my station been to see me?
No.
A man and a woman sit in the front seat of an armored motor carriage. The woman is driving. The man lights a cigarette. Jean Vicmer is his name. The asphalt vanishes under the wheels of the machine. Ahead, harbor cranes rise to the sky. Back to that shithole, he says.
Isn't that
I called your
strange?
station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site.
Okay.
I'm sure they're worried about you.
No, they would be here if they were truly worried.
Where are they?
I don't know.
That's between you and them, he thinks.
If not my station, then who treated me?
I did.
Thank you.
No need.
Are you hurt?
Not very. I have a concussion from the major beating me with the butt of his gun. I tried to not move too much. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see him coming. Stupid of me.
Okay. Holy crap, man. This is just... Oh, man. Like...
Easy now.
The lieutenant turns double again before your eyes. An orange sheet
How
of
are
paint.
you?
My disco days are done. Who cares? Who cares about me? It doesn't matter. Very bad, Kim. Things are very bad. My disco days are
Your
done.
disco days should have been done quite a while back, Lieutenant Efrater.
What happens now, Kim?
I honestly don't know.
Good, because I totally do.
Do you? Because we can't talk to Evrard. The harbor's in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now. Joyce has left too, thanks to our meddling.
The Wild Pines representative?
Yes, Joyce Messier. On the boat, you know?
Oh.
She could have helped us. It's clear the mercenaries were working for Wild Pines. At least partially. It's a little late to elicit her support now. Ruby's gone, and Class here too. We really should have arrested her, you know?
Who killed the hangman?
I don't know. I think the theory you presented, it's someone else, outside our circle of suspects, was right. It better be. Everyone within the circle is either dead or gone. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect.
There's still 28 possibility that the shot came from a distance.
We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else?
There are all those old bunkers and weapon caches.
We could find thousands more if we wanted. All of Revachol is full of them.
But they seemed so mysterious.
Can't believe they're effing useless.
No need to be melodramatic.
This is because I'm
Don't be narcissistic. Half the cops in Revachol West are his peonies.
Peonies.
Even if you are, it is not a decisive factor in this case.
That does make some sense.
The flowers.
What?
They were on the roof. I did not catch them. Butterfingers.
Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to the case. You don't have to catch everything.
He's wrong.
Every piece of garbage in the city is connected to the case.
Okay.
Alright, you know what I think about
He
solving
arches
crimes.
his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
Solving crimes is hard.
It really is very hard.
He sounds surprisingly weary. That concussion must be making him dizzy.
You're not ready to give up, are you?
No. Are you ready to limp?
Let's do
Good.
it.
Where do you want to limp to?
A gust of wind blows in from the bay. The duraluminum box around you vibrates imperceptibly. A familiar cold, a red thread on the roof upstairs. Taut, plucked like a string by the gust.
Alright,
Why not?
let's check upstairs.
Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think of anything better.
Look, the door is open. You can walk right into Kim's room now.
These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You make out notes on this and other recent cases.
I had Garth open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night.
This thing alive for a little bit longer.
It would have been easy were it not for my concussion. We both got lucky, considering the odds we faced. Let's go.
Medical supplies. The alarm is set for 6:50 a.m. Alright, I have 3 skill points, so we are playing well. I have 1 bullet still, so that's good. Oh wait, what's on the shelf? Oh, I never got my lieutenant pants. Newly replaced glass. Got leg hurts. Open the door. Thank you.
Next to the stack of bills, you see a note, a few lines jotted down in large, uneven handwriting, just as the writer was about to rush out the door. See you at the return. P.S. I didn't kill him. P.P.S. Gift upstairs.
A gift.
Seems she left her.
It's hardly surprising. I am not drawing my gun, yet, but I don't like gifts.
Relax. Not everyone is out to trap you.
Been around for months. Been around 4 months payments for this room.
The medicine cabinet is empty. Not even a toothbrush. Pity.
I was kind of hoping the gift would be in here. She really cleared this out.
Mm-hmm. She certainly had her priorities straight when she was packing.
Man, this was like such a... I can't walk out. Kim, you're in the way, mate. Get out of the way. Thanks. Such like a dramatic twist, man. I almost like... I didn't think it would just escalate. I was like, oh, something's gonna happen, obviously. Red thread made of nylon leads out of the room.
You see the same two neon-lit shapes. A man and a woman.
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
The lieutenant tests the thread with his finger drawn taut.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez, B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime. It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond the roof. B triple prime, the island in the bay.
Is she trying to tell us that the shot came from the islet?
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the thread seems to point.
There are ruins on the island, a sunken C4. I saw through the coin operative
The
viewer.
lieutenant looks out the window and onto the bay.
How did she know how to do this?
She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole was in the glass. It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her?
Of course we don't trust her. I just don't know.
Indeed. Neither do I.
He's used to knowing who to trust. This makes him uncomfortable.
This is the only point of origin we haven't ruled
So
out yet.
it is.
For a second he seems tired.
Maybe we should go to the island?
He is trying to justify it to himself. The lead is flimsy. You might as well go around Martinez looking under every rock and talking to every person. But what else is there? There, across the grey water, amidst crumbling concrete, a birch tree, and the half-sunken ruins of a flak tower.
I remember the anti-aircraft gun or the ruins of one on the island from the coin-operated viewer.
Could be the makings of a sniper's nest.
Kim, let's go to the effing island. I'm going to the island, are you in?
Okay, let's go to the fucking island.
Takes a second to
How
gather
do we
himself.
get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone.
Lillian, the net picker, she's tearing a boat.
Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
Alright, so this is looking pretty conclusionatory. Watch Gart charge me for the room, by the way. I'm alive, Gart. Do you care?
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet.
I died,
Did
thank
you like
for
your
improvement.
room? I cleaned it for you.
You did? It was too distracted to notice.
You're welcome. I thought it would be nice for you to wake up in a clean place after you, let's be fair, defended this establishment and its clientele from gunfire. I give credit where credit is due, and that, sir, was an honest effort. I was watching until it went down. Crawled inside then. Bullets started flying. Anyway.
He clears his throat.
He really wants you to realize that he was also on the balcony looking by, in the danger zone, so to say.
I wish you a quick recovery. Also, You and your partner are staying here free now. This establishment supports cops. The stay is free, the drinks are not. It just felt I needed to specify that.
So what's really interesting is that, like, I feel like everything that I kind of worked on did not help me in that key moment. Like, like all of my stats, like you know, the one that I should have made didn't work. I then made another one which, like, I made but didn't work.
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Skull.
Looks like Cindy the Skull finally found the words for her masterpiece.
The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it. Yes. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday.
The return.
Does this have anything to do with the return?
Could be. In Revachol West, someone somewhere is always whispering about Le Retour.
Le Retour.
It's an aerograffito meant for coalition aerostatics in the lower troposphere.
The return to her side.
I just did not expect it to escalate like that, you know. I take it you must end up getting shot somehow, but like I wonder if there is a way to stop other people dying. But should we now fail this check 4 times as I use skill points to try and get the thing for it?
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
I got shot in the foot. It was pretty badass. You would have liked it.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
Concluded.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
We need to get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
Can we borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull, I just got it nice and yellow, and no drinking on the boat, and no joyriding either.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
Not along alternatively.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
What's on the island?
Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think. Bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
Who has then if not you?
My husband used to drink there.
Oh.
Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me.
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such.
Which kids?
The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do.
Anything I should know before I go there?
Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Thank you, Will. Use your skiff to
Please
get there.
be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Alright. Be seeing you. Let's go speak to the boys.
scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
You've been to the island, right?
That island.
Yes, that one. I need to know what's there.
That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great.
It's great.
And we make a fire. We make a fire. Mm-hmm. Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
What then?
There are lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
They must mean a human being on that island,
Someone
but
lives
it's cut off.
on the island?
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Who is the fire guy?
Because
The boy pauses to think.
he asks to put the fire out.
Why does he ask you to put the fire out?
I don't know. He doesn't like it. He don't like people to be there. You shouldn't go. Yes.
You mentioned something about lights?
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Street light?
Yes.
Is there anything else you can tell me about this guy? Age? Does he live
No,
there?
he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else?
I don't know.
Whoops.
We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there.
Is that all you know? Is there anything more you can tell us about the island?
There's
Rubbing his eyes, it's clear that he's no intention to finish the sentence.
Lights. Fire guy. We should check up on that island.
Alright. I guess we're taking a boat. We're taking this boat? No. This boat? No. I'd like to use the boat, please. Oh yeah. Sail!
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now?
Mm-hmm.
Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
You take the engine, Kim. I'll hold the boombox.
What?
Well, how else do we blast Sad FM on our way to the island?
Fine. Let's blast Sad FM then.
Sad FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart.
Get in and ride to the island. This is so melodramatic.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternity.
This all feels very final. I've been streaming for many hours, but I guess we're gonna see it out because why not?
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance.
Let's go.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
This leads to the depot at Land's End.
Yes, so it seems.
What do you think is
For
useful?
bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
Lock it from who?
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
Nice. I can't believe the map is like expanded like again. Like it's honestly so wild, but like brilliant at the same time. Inflammable. Lingering trace of muzet in the air. Some fuel has leaked on the barrel. Oh.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop.
Wait, what?
Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface
Oh, God.
of the sea. The flock of quail departs on the islet, like a
Hold on.
sign of great importance to the few who attend.
Yes?
It's pretty silent on this island.
It is. Is that
The lieutenant nods.
Okay, I would like to leave. That was a very weird double click. Arrow says ICM.
ICM? This
Okay,
feels familiar somehow.
What's the
in
ICM?
Indian citizens militia? It's the official name of the communards army. The black and white army of the revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
Bitch. Stairs. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna have to go through. Hold on, wait, what's... Be careful not to fall off the cliff. It looks steep. Alright, so in and out, I guess. This was once and... something.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Sift through.
Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Tap on
The
the side.
hollow ring, the canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
Where do the wires lead?
Downstairs, somewhere?
Alright. Have I got anything for conceptualization? Going on. Look at me, so suave.
Soft covers, serialized, not that you can tell. This is a digest of someone who maybe
Nothing
it's a
else.
little old-fashioned.
Alright. Back to previous outfit. Go with that, actually. Yeah, you got the arrow shirt as well. Alright. What's that? Nice. Healing items, that's good. Stairs have collapsed.
Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel.
Run
a
your fingers
frequency
across the
band,
keyboard.
and even a keyboard. The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
What is this?
The
then?
console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out, determine it here.
Does the console do?
Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. Sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
Push.
Nothing happens.
Radio.
The dial slides under the glass. Silently, you make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words, Feld Insula, are written on the band.
Insular. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used for military communications.
It's an air-gapped system.
We need to restore power before using this, officer. The generator, it didn't look like there was fuel in it. We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
The console looks on as you talk.
Alright. Hatch is jammed shut. You can't see inside. Hold on. Okay. Correct hit. This is out of cargo ships. Nowadays, you'd have to have paid to get this as DLC, I bet. Ice cracks under your feet, be careful not to fall through. Chain.
A strange feeling looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all and walk in with a bottle in your hand.
Shake your head. Come on, we're so close. So close to blowing this whole thing wide open. And your pelvis makes you wince, then you continue. The pain, rather. Fire chain. Fuel.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
Inspect the wall.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete first.
Quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Look through the hole.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation. a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar.
On the right.
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area.
On the left.
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
And between the two,
The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
I can't be 100% certain, but
What? Do you have a line of sight to the window?
What are you talking about? Can't be certain. It's certain.
came with a pair of binoculars, I'd be able to see inside the
A
room.
pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. I think we have it. The
Let's go.
origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Booyah, master cop work.
It's only moderately effective cop work until we have the weapon. It will not be, how do you say it, booyah, until we have that.
Could the shooter still be
Where?
here? On the island.
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more and says,
We should move now.
Alright. Just gonna equip my gun, just in case. You know, a bit wary after getting shot, you know what I mean? You feel eyes in your back, someone is watching you, but you can't say where. I feel like I have to click everything twice sometimes. It's really annoying. Water rushes below, far down below.
This old cylindrical generator,
Pour
the
fuel into the
lieutenant
tank.
assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Pull
The
it up.
recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Alright.
A dim gold.
It's on. Turn emergency open.
The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle. A
Did
dim
this open the
ambient
blast door?
orange. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Nice. We've lost the stealth option, I think.
After you.
What if we get into it before outside when we were walking across the sand? I felt someone watching me.
So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came here.
What if we get into another fight?
Don't worry. I have a gun.
I also have.
I
one.
know. It was not easy to acquire.
Let's go. Let's do it. Small white flowers blossom all around you. A rubber dinghy, deflated and broken.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
So I need you to put down that gun so we can talk further with the police.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
I am the enemy commander of corresponding rank.
The words, "I am an enemy commander," sound cold as iron from your lungs. The old man still hugs his gun.
And what rank would that be, dog?
Lieutenant W4.
A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the Pederast Army. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly and stares at it.
Like
laying
an
there.
amputated limb in the sand.
Pick up the gun laying
His
in the sand.
gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire.
Inspect it closer.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
Inspect it
The
closer.
rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing.
Worn. Personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir?
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles in a small bout of wind.
This uses jacketed ammunition 4.46.
Jacketed. Military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
He says mostly to the
As he
old man.
speaks, he stresses every word. The old
Slowly,
man
yeah.
keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
You've been on the island for 43 years?
No.
A
I've
whisper,
been on other islands too.
a whisper of smoke rises from somewhere between the charred logs.
I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
You said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapse of faith.
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took
For what?
for reaction to take hold.
It wasn't reaction, you were just afraid.
It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
And this was when?
The lieutenant instinctively looks to his notebook, but does not take it out.
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Dark magic.
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower,
He gestures towards it.
huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
He looks east.
A terrible shame still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
What then?
I ran. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers underground, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
He looks at the sky.
Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
The old man does not say more. Those black eyes of his keep piercing you as he looks to some great distance and shakes his head slowly, retreating from it.
How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter.
Oh.
Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stew, too.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
We also have Druamine.
We have Dramamine and other opiate-based painkillers. You must be in pain.
I have been running out of that stuff.
You need to be looked over.
There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund.
Thank you for clearing
He
that up.
looks at you, his face parched from the sun
How
and
have
the
you-
wind. There's
how-
a wince of pain in there somewhere.
How have you concealed yourself all
It was
these years?
hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Coal City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, And Boogie Street, of course.
Boogie Street.
Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How did you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
The west.
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
They were damaged beyond
I know.
use.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
The bunker under
The
the
propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves.
Oh.
2 young boys.
That's violent.
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
Tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
So you're a communist soldier from a communist army?
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained and assigned to the defense corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
No, that means you're a trained communist, right?
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
I'm a moralist.
No, you're not. You're part of the meat shield. The human shield that surrounds the fascists while they kill and rape.
Okay.
That's what you are.
Detective,
take.
we have not come here to discuss ideology. We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
The old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body.
What is this
It's
place?
not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol.
Okay.
And
Alright, why are there no options to push this along?
you're with the RCM. The coalition appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. A so-called Lieutenant W. Freighter.
Where would the RCM? Let's leave it at that.
Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans ce monde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
43 years and 10 months.
I don't even know what that is. It's the length of my entire life.
It's too long. It's not how a human being should live. But I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
He looks across the
Where
water.
it's morning, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people are walking. The gas street lights have already been switched off. Further inland, in Jamrock, the streets come alive with workers. Men, women, children rushing. Muddy avenue after muddy avenue. The temperature is rising. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects giant letters across the plaza mosaic in dark red government-marked heavy fuel oil. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smelling of petroleum. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back at you for
For
what?
her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution.
I came from there, painted the mainland. I could assure you that it's not what the people are planning. I've been there, the city is a tinderbox, it may still happen. I've seen it, shake your head. Capital is too powerful, the rich are very well organized.
It won't. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
What has he done? Perhaps a confession will lighten the load.
And what have you done?
Yes, what? To get things going again? Fan the flame?
There is no flame to fan. There is nothing left of the world, of our dreams.
I have another question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
YOLO. No.
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit. He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes, and you say,
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war.
Uh-huh.
Class war is never over.
so he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
Which one do I say first then?
Nothing comes to you. Silence, and in them, a chill, like electricity running up your spine, crawling into your skull.
What?
All is not as it seems.
Detective.
Damn it, ask it already, he wants to say.
Alright.
What did I just say?
He keeps shaking his head erratically. Suddenly, he brushes something out of his eye.
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
I know you want to tell me, have you killed anyone with a gun in the last 2 weeks?
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
This went well.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me. I'm wrong all the time.
Did you use it to kill a mercenary in the
The
coast?
who now?
He leans in and cups his ear.
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
The corpse in ceramic armor hanging behind the Whirling Rag. Did you shoot him?
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
The lieutenant takes a sudden step forward.
I am a son of a welder. and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
Come on, what am I forgetting? Hit yourself on the side of the head. Alright, we're gonna take a quick pause because Mario needs the toilet. So I'll be right back. Don't go away. 2 ticks. I'm gonna get some more water. And we will finish this. We are gonna finish this.